AITA for telling my husband that he created this mess and he needs to fix it. I, 36F, and my husband, 37M, always planned on having kids. We both grew up in big families, and it was something we talked about early in our relationship. We envisioned having at least 2 children, maybe 3 if life worked out that way. We were young, excited, and thought we had everything figured out. Life, of course, had different plans. Our first child, Belinda, 15F, wasn't exactly planned. We were using protection, I was on the pill, and we used condoms because we were not ready yet. Or at least, that's what we thought. But as fate would have it, one night, a condom broke. I remember the exact moment I realized I was pregnant. I was a few days late, and even though I tried to brush it off, something in me just knew. I took the test alone in our tiny apartment bathroom. I sat on the floor staring at that second line for what felt like an eternity. I was scared, but also, weirdly, I was happy. Nervous, overwhelmed, but happy. When I told my husband, his first reaction was shock. He just sat there blinking at me, processing, before finally saying, "Wow, so we're doing this." I nodded, and to my relief, he smiled. "Okay then, we're doing this." From that moment on, there was no looking back. I threw myself into pregnancy books. We picked out baby names. We turned our guest room into a nursery. We were ready. And when Belinda was born, it was like my heart finally existed outside my body. Yes, she was a surprise, but she was the best surprise of my life. Years later, when Belinda was around 6, we decided it was time for baby number 2. Except it didn't happen. Month after month, negative test after negative test. I went through the whole roller coaster of emotions. Hope, excitement, devastation, rinse and repeat. Doctors couldn't find anything wrong, but for some reason, it just wasn't working. Eventually, we turned to IVF. It was a brutal process, emotionally, physically, financially. But after one round, we got lucky, and we welcomed our son, Philip, 9M. He was everything we had hoped for, and our family finally felt complete. Now, here's where things went south. A close family friend of ours has been struggling with infertility, and my husband and I were discussing it in the kitchen when Philip overheard. Curious as always, he asked, "What's IVF?" I kept my explanation simple and told him it's a special way to help people have babies when they have trouble getting pregnant. "That's how we had you, buddy." Philip just nodded, taking it all in, and that was that. But then Belinda, who had been listening quietly, asked, "Did you use IVF for me too?" I was about to say a simple no and leave it at that, because honestly, that's all that needed to be said, but before I could open my mouth, my husband laughed. And then he said it. "Nope, you're here because the condom broke." It was like the whole room went silent. I watched as Belinda's expression changed instantly. The light in her eyes just dimmed. She looked hurt, confused, and embarrassed all at once. She knew what that meant. She wasn't a little kid anymore. She understood that her dad had basically just told her she was a mistake. I immediately jumped in, my voice a little too rushed, trying to fix it. "You were a surprise, but a much welcome surprise. We always planned on having kids. It just happened a little sooner than expected." She gave a small, tight nod and mumbled, "Okay," before leaving the room. I could tell she was upset. That night, I told my husband he needed to apologize. "She's 15, I said. That's a tough age already, and now she thinks she was some kind of accident." He just shrugged. "I was just being honest. She's being dramatic. She'll get over it." I couldn't believe it. Get over it? She's a teenager, for God's sake. You just laughed about how she wasn't planned. She's gonna sit with that. She wasn't planned, he argued. It's not like I told her she ruined our lives or something. She's old enough to understand that not every pregnancy is mapped out. I tried again to make him see reason, but he waved me off, said I was overreacting. So, I did the only thing I could do. I went to Belinda's room and talked to her myself. I sat on her bed, told her how much I loved her, how much she was wanted, how she was the best thing that ever happened to me. She nodded along, but she was quieter than usual, like something had already taken root in her mind that I couldn't pull out. Over the next few weeks, it became painfully obvious that Belinda wasn't over it. She started making little comments, not in a playful, joking way. There was real hurt behind them. "Oh, sorry for existing. I know I was just an accident anyway. Guess it must suck to have to deal with a mistake every day, huh, Dad? Don't worry, Philip was wanted. I was just here." And every time, my husband just got more and more annoyed. One night at dinner, she made another jab, and he snapped. "Okay, enough already. You're being dramatic. I didn't mean anything by it, and I don't know why you're still holding on to this." I couldn't take it anymore. After dinner, he came to me, frustrated, and said, "Can you tell her to knock it off?" And I just looked at him. "No, you created this mess. You fix it." Because here's the thing. She's 15. A 15-year-old girl, dealing with the insecurities and emotional turbulence that come with being a teenager. And now she has to sit with the thought that her dad didn't want her, that she was some kind of accident he laughs about. And instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I love you more than anything. He's digging his heels in and acting like she's the one with the problem. I refuse to be the middleman here. I refuse to tell my daughter to just let it go when she clearly feels like her dad doesn't see her the same way he sees her brother. He thinks I'm overreacting, that I should be telling her to move on. But I know my daughter. I know this is cutting her deep. So, Reddit. AITA for refusing to do his emotional cleanup for him. TLDR. Husband joked that our 15-year-old daughter was conceived because the condom broke in front of her. She was clearly hurt. He refused to apologize, and now she's making little comments about being unwanted. He wants me to tell her to let it go. I said he made the mess. He needs to fix it. AITA,